Hello, welcome back. My name is Lizzie Luna, and today's pick a card question is, what is their karma for hurting you? So this can be like a no contact, like breakup. It doesn't have to be, but it's more for things that just for a situation that didn't end well. Like, what is the karma? What is the aftermath that's going to happen after the fallout, after the disagreement? So we have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile 1 with blue aura quartz. Pile 3 with like a green apple aura quartz. And then we have pile 3 with another titanium aura quartz, and this one's like rainbow. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. If you need any more time, feel free to pause the video, but I'm going to be starting with pile number 1. There will be timestamps down below. So the question is, what is their karma for hurting you? So we have the World in reverse, the 4 of Materials in reverse, and the 2 of Cups. Then we have Father, Strength, and Hello from Heaven in reverse, and then Beauty Way. So with the World in reverse, like their life is just kind of like turned upside down, you know, like everything's kind of like topsy-turvy, and like it's hard to find, like for this person to find stability within themselves. So there was a falling out or an ending, and a cycle between you and them has been completed. There is a lack of closure in this situation. Remember that closure is something that you can offer yourself by affirming that you're ready to move on and open up to a new cycle, trusting that you have grown and you are ready for the next adventure to begin. So like, even though this person didn't provide closure for you in this scenario, that just means like you can create that for yourself by like forgiving yourself and moving forward. Like, even though, you know, you don't need an apology for them to like be able to live a good life yourself. So like their karma is that they don't have that closure either. So like it's difficult for them to see the world without like jaded eyes, and everything's just kind of like in balance because of it. We also have the 4 of Materials, and it's in reverse. So it's linked with materialism, controlling behaviors. So maybe this person was controlling to you or with you, not sharing their resources or, you know, emotions. And the same cycle is still playing out. But this person now feels like they have less than they started off with. And it's breeding more insecurities and feelings of not having enough. So this person is like in a very like scarcity mindset where they're like, I don't have enough, I have to protect what I have. So it's like they're kind of like being controlling with others now because they don't have that stability within themselves to control their emotions or their like situations in life. So it's coming out like in a controlling way to others. So they're pushing people away in the process. But then we have like a happy card here. It's the 2 of Cups. So it's like 2 of emotions. Like this is typically like a really happy card. But in this case, like what the good karma is for you is that you're creating the space for yourself to find the equal give and take dynamic for you and in others' life. So maybe there was just like a lot of imbalances here. It wasn't equal. It wasn't, didn't feel reciprocal. So because of this fallout, you're creating that space to be able to invite people that actually want to play their part. And so how we treat others is how we want others to treat us. So this person can't respect or appreciate certain aspects of you, then they will continue to live in disharmony and insecurity and a general unbalanced life that's based off fear because they're not playing their part. So that's their karma. So then we have the Father card. So the way I see this, it says light attributes, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. So because it's like, what's their karma? The way I understand this is that they're, since they weren't being supportive with you, they will continue to live without a sense of belonging or having a family unit like a soul family unless they break the karmic cycle. So they're going to continue to keep having these unfulfilling connections where they think like other people need to give more, and like this person can just like do the bare minimum, or not play their part, and they're going to continue to with this karmic cycle until they find that meaning within themselves to forgive themselves, and to ask for an apology from you perhaps, and being able to like be cooperative. And then advice for you is the beauty way. So this is like a really nice card. I'm going to go ahead and read what it says about it. It says, stop trying to fix relationships that you believe are broken. Recognize that things are exactly where they need to be in this moment, and acknowledge the inherent beauty that when you understand this, you will be able to bring about the change you want. Do not engage in gossip about the darkness and flaws of others. Be careful not to be seduced by the superficial beauty or of a project or relationship you are toying with, unless you are willing to pay a price for it later. So like in this situation, there's nothing to fix. There's nothing that you can do to make things better, or you already played your part. So just acknowledge that your path is not this path, and that you already played your part in this path. So it's just about this other person, if they still wanted to be in this connection, to like reach out to you and do what they need to do in order to make this more balanced. So then we also have strength. So this person is just feeling really weak. It's taking a lot of strength to like keep moving forward. And like, this is, this last card, it says hello from heaven, but it's upside down. So I just feel like this person is living in like their own personal hell right now, because their world is upside down, and like their life feels like it's not stable or falling apart, and they're being greedy and selfish and insecure. So like this person's kind of living in their own purgatory or hell right now, because it's the opposite of heaven. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope that resonates or helps you out in some way. I'm going to be moving on to pile 2 now. So, with this question, what is their karma for hurting you or having a fallout? What is the aftermath of this all? So we have the 5 of Wands, Page of Cups, Death, the Bee, the Frog. We have a lot here. Dreams, Friendship, Forgiveness, and Believe. Okay, so we have quite a few cards here. But starting with the 5 of Wands, they're currently feeling overwhelmed, because there's just been like, I see a lot of conflicting energy here. But it's just a lot of ideas, ungrounded. Like this person is just feeling kind of overwhelmed, and they're kind of just like battling these ideas and thoughts in their head, where it's just like they can't even move forward because they're just so focused on conflict. So there's a lot of inner turmoil happening with this person. They can't keep focused. They can't think. They're thinking back of what happened between you and them, and they're feeling very conflicted. They're trying to stay busy, but they're not content. And they're struggling. I mean, they could be having like other arguments right now with other people. Like this wasn't like just you. This is just like the path that they're on, and it's just very unfulfilling. Then we have the Page of Cups. So with this one, I just see this is like immature energy. They're not feeling at peace with themselves, so they're having trouble finding the right words to express to themselves, and they're kind of falling short with their communication. So it's just been unfulfilling with like their expressions with other people, not just you. So there's just like they can't seem to get the right words out. So it's almost like a writer's block, but for communication. And then we have death. So something needs to be released. Like obviously there could have been like an ending in this situation, but like this person is not like accepting it as is, because there's still a lot of like stagnant energy attached to this, and this person needs to release the inner conflict and it'll happen over and over again, like this inner turmoil, until they surrender and make peace with the cycles of their current behavior. So unless they learn from the drama that they created, a transformation will not happen. But it will need to happen in order for things to shift into something more progressive. So like all is not lost in this connection. I still kind of feel like there's a sense of hope because we have this death card, and I know typically like death is not really looked at as like in a positive light, but the way I see this is that you need to leave the old in order to transform and like allow the new to grow. So I think this is just a matter of like this person's karma is like this, their inner turmoil. They can't seem to express themselves correctly because they're not grounded. And it's possible that if they, you know, transform the karmic cycle, that it could still be renewed. So there's a sense of hope that I'm associating with this spread. It's not for all the spreads, but for this one, I'm going to say, yeah, it's still possible to like reconcile with this person because we have forgiveness. And like, this is like, I mean, you can forgive that, you know, this person, even though you've had differences, you could still forgive yourself for what happened and then forgive them so that you could move on. So like, you can just forgive with like no expectation of things, you know, being a certain way after. It's just so you can move on clearly without regret. And then we have the B. So this person's like work life has been affected because it says luck, industrious, and sweet victory. So like things are falling short for this person. And like maybe they have like a frog in their throat because of this Page of Cups. Like they can't seem to get the right words out. It says cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. Like they're holding on to too much. And they're not expressing it. So maybe they've been having like, it says dreams here, but maybe they've been having like nightmares about this. You know, it's like very like, they're feeling guilty about it. And it's affecting like even their friends. Like maybe they're currently talking to their friends or pushing friends away because of it. Like there's just so much conflict that like, maybe they're asking for support, but, and then having nightmares about it. But I mean, I still see this as like a possibility of like, being able to transform into something and reconcile. But yeah, they're having nightmares about it. Their work life is affected by it. Their communication just went down the drain, and they're just in inner turmoil. Like that's a whole lot of karma to sort out. And then for the last card, it says believe, the force that works through your soul, determining what's possible or impossible, the difference between success over failure, and above all, who you are is the power of your belief. So like maybe they've just been feeling like they lost the faith within this connection and in themselves. And like that can't, like you can't teach someone that, right? You can't teach anyone to believe in the connection or themselves. Like it needs to come from within. And only then that they can see that the worth of their own life and the way and the worth of other people and how they play their part. So that's their karma. I mean, it's not as heavy as the last pile, but like I think this is like forgivable and you can still work through this if you wanted to. I know all circumstances are different, but for this one, I do feel like there's a sense of hope attached to it. So I hope this resonated or made sense to you or helped you out in some way. I'm going to be moving on to pile 3 with the titanium aura quartz. So pretty. So what is their karma for hurting you? We have the Queen of Wands, 4 of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, Steady, lighten your load, Lady of the Lake, and the Stag. Okay, so with the Queen of Pentacles, I see this as like their creativity being like there's a lack of creativity happening, and they just don't feel ambitious as they have in the past. They're feeling really tired, kind of burnt out, because like the wands are associated with like fire, and like there's just like they lost their spark and there's a lot, they lost their confidence, and they're not feeling worthy because they regret how they treated you. Like there's a sense of regret, and maybe there was just like some fiery communication happening, like really, you know, heated moments, and they're thinking back on it now, you know, and they're burnt out because of it. They're just like, okay, like their pride kind of got in the way of this whole situation, and they're kind of like, they're exhausted, they're burnt out, they're thinking about it. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles. So the way they're thinking about it is like they're coming from like a scarcity mindset. They feel isolated, even though they isolated themselves, but they're hanging on to their resources tightly. They're possibly being controlling or possessive with others because they're coming from a scarcity mindset, like acting greedy and selfish to others. So kind of pushing people out of their lives because there's not that sense of stability, because they lost, your connection. So like, they're like, oh, I just want to hang on to everything I have now because I have less. So there's just like, it's just like a very greedy, isolated type of energy. And they're not really being cooperative. So they're definitely alone right now, and they're not really enjoying that, but they need to take that time and space to like really think about what they did. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is not being able to see opportunities to build something now. So it's just like, this is typically like the foundation card, like working towards a goal. But with this one, it's like that foundation has been gone. So they're feeling like a failure and hanging on tightly to what they currently have, so that they aren't able to build something new. Even if there's an opportunity there, like their mindset is just in a negative place, so they can't even see a good opportunity if it's just staring them right in front of the face. So they're kind of being like ungrateful, and they're not even realizing it. So they're stuck with what upset them in the past, and they're not able to move forward from it. So their karma is just like kind of like a purgatory, like, okay, like they're in isolation. They're thinking about, the fiery communication, the upsetting words, and they're like, okay, how can I move forward with this? But they're not able to because they're just alone. So they're really thinking about this. They might like take a class, or they might try to learn something new because of this confrontation. Like it says, Spirit has its own special way of letting you know that it's time to study again. From time to time, it's important to go back and learn, whether it's learning old things in a new way or learning something totally new. This is an opportunity to expand your mind. So like this event or this conflict or connection has like really opened up their eyes in a new way, where they're looking at life differently because of it. And they're like, maybe I should, approach this situation differently because of what happened in the past, because they realized it wasn't productive. So like they're hanging on to a lot of stress right now. It says lighten your load. So like their karma is that they're hanging on to all of the things in the past, and they're not letting them go. They're not looking into like that. They're trying to focus on the light, but they're like ignoring everything that they're carrying with them. So like they need to learn how to like let that go in order for things to move forward in a productive way. Maybe they're stuck in the past of what has happened with their previous connections or some kind of trauma, and they're still holding on to that, and they don't realize it. So it's like it's up to them to like let it go if they want to move forward. And then we have the Lady of the Lake. It says absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So like how I see this as their karma is that they haven't been the most straightforward with you, or they've kind of been a coward with like their communication, and maybe they haven't shown you too much respect, or showed you like how they're accountable for what they do and how they act. So like that's their karma, that they're just not going to feel respected because they're not respecting others back. And then we have the Stag. So it says pride and leadership. So the way I see this is that their ego is definitely in the way of being able to see the truth, and they're able to like, they're kind of like, when it says leadership, I think like they're just being very individualistic and saying like, no, I can handle this on my own. I don't need your help, right? But that's not leader. That's just like arrogance, right? They're just like, I don't need it. Like I'm above it. So they're going to continue to like butt heads with other people because they're not taking what they're saying into consideration at all, when they're definitely like, when it can be corrected and people are affected. So like, they're just not seeing that. They're just seeing like what they want to, like, it's a very greedy mindset and like what they want to create, as opposed to like, how to get there and be cooperative and work together. So yeah, until that person decides to like play nice and play their part, they're going to continue this cycle. So I hope that resonated or helped you out in some way. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.